Hi, I'm going to talk about saying no to be able to say yes. My name's Rob Thiesfield. I've been online for 2 years now, learnt a lot on the way. And I would like to talk about something that has afflicted me in my life for a long time, and that is the ability to stop doing too many things. I don't know about you, but I've been attracted by so many of these new things that are out there. I've opened up accounts in countless different areas, software tools, activities, courses, and so on. And each time I see a potential possibility in it to help me achieve my goal. The problem with that is that each new tool requires a learning curve. Each new course requires an investment of my time. And so if I don't focus on what are the core activities of my business, then as good as these tools are, they're distracting me from that core activity, which is the thing that actually makes the money. And when we do that, what we're discovering is that we're dispersed everywhere. So the key part of this is learning how to say no. And when we say no to things, we actually open ourselves up to be able to say yes to the things that are important to us. So for example, if we look at our high values in life, for me, I value family, time with family. I value rest, making sure I get enough rest, value health, and I like to help other people. So they're my values. And to do that, I need to look at what is it that I'm doing that helps me to achieve those goals, and what is it that takes those goals away or puts them further away. So there's a lot of distractions in our lives. There's a lot of things that can hold us back. Things that are good, but that aren't ultimately helping us to achieve those goals that we've got. So for example, staying late at work doesn't help me with my family goal. But if it's necessary to ensure that I achieve a complete task, or that I do the work that I've promised that I should do, then perhaps that's fulfilling the goal of integrity. However, each time that I do that, if I do it over and over again, then I need to re-examine what am I saying yes to that I have to then complete. That's taking away from my goals. And so when we do this, it's so easy to get caught up in many extra things. Have you ever lay down to rest at night and found yourself scrolling through Netflix or scrolling through Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, something like that, and you end up wasting time because you said yes to something that really wasn't a value? And you feel it in yourself. You feel like, oh, I shouldn't have done that. And this is where it's really important to take stock. Look at your life, look at what you're doing, look at everything. This is what I've been doing. I've re-examined everything that I'm doing and looking at it. And each time I ask myself this question: is this what I really want to do every day for the rest of my life? And if it's not, then many times it gets cut. So I look at business opportunities in the same way. In the last 2 years, I've looked at many different possibilities of business online, and you get bombarded every day in the messages with more people asking if you would like to take a look at their opportunities. Some of them are great and worthwhile. The issue is whether I should do it, whether it will help me achieve the goal that I'm looking for, or whether it will distract from that. My goal, as I said, is family time, so I'm looking for a business that allows me to mix between my activities of business with my activities of home. I've got an offline business that does that. I'm working with my online business to do that. The goal then is I also value travel, so I would like to find a way that I could continue to do business while I am moving around with my family. I'd love to show them around. I've traveled the world myself. I'd love to show my family different aspects of that as well. So everything to do with our lives is always a compromise. And one of the things that we often find hard is we cling on to the things that we think might help us. But when things might help us, but they don't, they are distractions. And we've got to remember there is good things that aren't the best. And those good things are the hardest ones to let go of. When you are getting closer to refining your life and limiting the things in your life so that the goal is closer, there will always be things that come in that will distract us, that will take us away, that look like they're a good choice. And so the key part here is remembering that it's important to say no. In fact, Steve Jobs said no to many, many things. When he got back into Apple, after he was kicked out of Apple, he came back into Apple. They had a whole range of products. They had printers and cameras and little, like the precursor to the phone, the pad where you'd scribble on it, Newton they called it. All of those items were great. They were very good. People loved them. But he started to scrap everything until they got down to the core things. He said, let's focus on the core things. And as with a magnifying glass, when you get the sun whose rays warm us and you start to focus those rays, you get a fire. It gets so intense and so hot. That's how we can build our business. By being intense, by being focused, by knowing what it is we're trying to achieve and going straight for that. So the key here is not trying to do everything at once, but remembering to push aside everything that distracts us. And there's a verse in the Bible that says, set aside all the things that hold us back from running the race that we are to run. And so that's the same thing with business, with everything. It's a principle in life. We need to set aside those things that are holding us back, focus on the goals that we have in front of us, and not let anything distract us from that. I hope you got value from this. If you'd like more, I am planning on going live every day. And this is my third live, so yay. And yeah, I'll catch up with you tomorrow.